Hello friends, I welcome you all to this live session, and this is my second live session. You can refer to my previous live session which was about a general strategy for UPSC Civil Services examination. So in this live session it is going to be about the basic books that we have to study for this examination, and as all of us know that this examination requires a lot of books to be studied. Some of them are quite basic ones in their respective portions, and because the syllabus is kind of huge, so one needs to go through these books and revise them again and again. So I would keep it to a bare minimum which every new aspirant and even those who are going to write it again must refer to, and we will be trying to kind of make a strategy so that we are able to revise it again and again, and we are going to get maximum output in terms of the examination. So whatever books I will be referring to in this session would be for both prelims and mains, and a serious aspirant, when one takes a look at the syllabus for prelims and mains especially, one would be able to make out which topics can be taken out from these books. So one by one I will be taking the subsections which are mentioned in the syllabus and also the books that one usually should refer to. So this session is basically for civil services examination only, and if anybody is interested in any other exam taken by UPSC or SSC, they may refer to other sessions. So let's get started, and first of all I would like to congratulate Unacademy for such a huge achievement of 1 million subscribers on this platform on YouTube, and I would like to congratulate all of you, whether it be aspirants or educators. So another thing is today is 5th of September, which is the Teachers Day, and by this medium I would like to congratulate all educators at Unacademy. It is our day, whether it be Roman Seni sir, who has been giving awesome lessons on the platform, or whether it be Jatin Verma, who is doing a lot of hard work coming with regular sessions, or say Ayush Sanghi sir, or Aman Srivastav, or Shreya Sharma, and all other educators, Vani Mehra. I would like to wish you all a happy Teachers Day. So let's get started with this session, which is going to be about fundamental books, and let's start with history, because a user has just asked the question whether Bipin Chandra is better or Modern Spectrum. So here I am not going to dictate which book you should refer to. It should at the end of it depend upon your choice and your convenience. But yes, I will give you an overview of which all books you can refer to as far as this examination is concerned. And also this list is not going to be comprehensive. I may miss out some books which you may have referred to. That is all okay. You may continue reading them and revising them as long as they are good enough for this examination. That is up to you to decide. So let's get started, and first of all, as a user has asked about history, so this is Bipin Chandra. This is the older edition that I have. Now new edition is also available, but more or less they will be the same because history remains the same. There are not much addition that can be made in history, but yes, you can go for the new edition if you don't have one right now with you, or you can go with the older edition. It is all good. So happy Teachers Day, and let's get started. This book is quite a thick one, as all of you can see, and the freshers may be kind of scared with it, especially those who do not have much interest in history. Maybe they may be from engineering background, or for any other reason they may not have studied history since many years. But I would tell you that history is, although it is bulky, the book, as you can see, but history is something which everyone should know, whether one is attempting the exam or not. That should not make a difference. So this is India since independence, and the another book which right now I do not have with me, it is called as India's Struggle for Independence, which is all the more relevant as far as the prelims and main exam is concerned. But in the mains, you will also have to study India since independence by the same author, Bipin Chandra, Aditya Mukherjee, and Mridula Mukherjee, who all were at one point of time professors of JNU. So obviously they are very good in their own subjects, and you may refer to both books. As far as the prelims is concerned, just go for India's Struggle for Independence, and if during initial read, if you find it useful, you can then continue with the whole book. But if you find it tough, then there is an alternative, as the user had just mentioned. Obviously, NCRTs are always the best book to go start with. But yes, because the standard of UPSC, especially in the prelims exam, is always going one notch higher. So I would ask you to supplement the readings from NCRT with these books which I am referring to. Throughout the session, whichever books for any subsection that I will be referring to, they will be excluding the NCRTs, because it is like it is kind of given that you have to refer NCRTs from 6th to 12th, as also I had told you in the previous session that you may refer to here at Unacademy on YouTube. Happy Teachers Day to all once again, and this is Modern India, a brief history of modern India by Spectrum, and the author is Rajiv Ahir. He is a former IPS officer, so he's still serving as an IPS officer, and we are obliged to him because he has taken the pains to publish kind of his notes that he would have made during his preparation, and it is quite a handy book as compared to the Bipin Chandra I just showed you. So you may simply refer to, if you are finding trouble completing Bipin Chandra and revising it, or you are not finding it interesting enough, then you may simply refer to Spectrum, A Brief History of Modern India, and that would be, I won't say that would be enough for what UPSC is going to ask in prelims and mains, but yes, it will give you a brief overview, and then you can build upon it if you have much interest in history. I would like to tell that this is just the modern part of history, as we may like to call it, that is basically dealing with India's struggle for independence, or to be precise, as UPSC mentions in the main syllabus, since the middle of the 18th century. It won't be dealing the 18th century itself. It starts from 1857. The first chapter, in fact, is about the first revolt of 1857, which is also referred to as the first Indian independence struggle. But yes, for as far as prelims is concerned, you may conveniently go with this book and try to revise it again rather than referring to a lot many sources. That will be much beneficial, and also I would suggest to start from there. Then if you find interest in this subject and you want to match the standard of UPSC in the last 2-3 years, whether it be prelims or mains, then you can obviously supplement this small little book with Bipin Chandra as well. But it would be better that if you go with only one book and rather revise it again and again. That will consume less time, and you will also be feeling much more confident at the end of the read. So this was modern Indian history for you, as far as the prelims exams is concerned, and also to a bit extent mains as well. But then when it comes to ancient history, it also includes art and culture, for which there are very many options, but I would recommend first of all to start with CCRT and NCRT. CCRT is a website, and it is a database of various art and culture related stuff. So you may refer to it. It is free for you to view. And then you must in fact refer to NCRTs, because UPSC has been lately referring to NCRTs to make their question. It sort of seems to be like as if they are referring while making questions for prelims and even for mains. So you may be able to answer a lot of questions both in prelims and mains if you refer to NCRTs. And you must revise it again, because there are a lot of terminologies that you may not be able to remember. They are quite tough, especially those in Sanskrit. So you will have to revise ancient Indian history as much as you can from the NCRTs and also the CCRT database for architecture and culture as well, and even literature, which is part of culture. So this is a brief overview of how one should approach history as far as the books are concerned and other sources like CCRT. Then for medieval history, you may refer to NCRT itself. But the only thing is that UPSC may not ask many questions from medieval history. Usually the focus is more on ancient and especially on modern history, modern Indian history to be precise. as far as prelims is concerned. And in mains, history of the world is also an added portion, which is the world history, and it basically includes philosophies like socialism, capitalism, communism, then first the two world wars. And so the history of the world, this is a book by Arjun Dev, and you may refer to it. You will get a glance of what the history of the world has been in the last 2 centuries. I would say that this would be enough, because it usually from this section only 4 or 5 questions are asked, and that only in mains. So for prelims you do not need to refer to it as such, but obviously you can, in history you always get hints from whatever you read, so it may be indirectly beneficial in prelims as well. As far as the questions that you are asking me, I will be taking them one by one at the end. So old NCRTs or new NCRTs, I would say just go through both of them if you have with your friends or at the stall, and whichever you find much more comfortable or convenient or easy to cover, you go for it. Old would have been better if you already have it, but if you don't have, you have a choice to go for new as well, which are easily available. So and also you can refer to them online at the NCRT website, the newer ones, so it is kind of easily accessible and you can easily go with them as far as history is concerned, and even for any other subsection of prelims or main syllabus for general studies. I won't be taking optionals as such, and whatever books I have referred to for the optional part, you will obviously require much more books, and you can refer to any expert in that regard. This was for general studies, all the books that I am dealing with. So the next section that we should move on to as part of GS paper 1, both in prelims and mains. In main, GS paper 1 includes history, geography, Indian society. So coming to geography section, that is common in both prelims and mains. First of all, for world geography, I would recommend this Gocheng Liang book. It's a thin one, and it is quite illustrative. There are a lot of diagrams here and pictures which help you to understand geographical phenomena. And then a good classification in tables are also used in the book, so you can simply read it from the book and then revise it again and again, and it is quite easy to recapitulate. The book has been written in such a way, although it has not been written for UPSC specially, but yes, you can write good answers in mains as well if you have gone through it, as far as world geography is concerned and basic geographical phenomena are concerned. So this is for geography for both prelims and mains, and there is no need to get confused. Then NCRTs are a must for each subsection, and even more for geography, because many of the basic concepts of geography have been explained very well in NCRTs, and so you must go with them. And then comes economy. I would recommend economy is kind of a difficult section for most of the aspirants, and you can refer to this book Indian Economy by Ramesh Singh, and it is quite a good book. This is the older edition. You may refer to the latest edition that has come up in the market. So this Indian Economy book is quite a good one, but obviously you will have to supplement it with a lot of other sources, especially the government sources like the economic survey that comes every year in the month of Feb. The convention has kind of changed. It has been preponed 1 month, so in the year 2018 it is expected to be in the month of February itself. So you must refer to it in any case for both prelims and mains. For prelims, you may be getting direct questions from that economic survey, the government document itself, and even for mains you can get some good inputs for your answers to use in, which will be quite impressive for the examiner. And so apart from that, I would also like to emphasize that as far as the geography is concerned, you must refer to maps while you are studying NCRTs or any other book like Gocheng Liang, and this is a simple atlas, world atlas, in which political as well as geographical boundaries have been given, and a lot of tables are also given full of data. You may skip through them if you're finding it difficult to remember, but you must have a good enough idea of which river is flowing through which continent, which country to be precise, and UPSC directly or indirectly may ask such kind of a question. So an atlas is a must to supplement the books that you are referring to, and obviously you will get a lot of information from newspapers as well, whether it be the Hindu or Indian Express. A lot of events are happening around the world which may be linked to geography or international relations or any other issue of national or international importance. So you can get inputs from there itself, but as far as geography is concerned, a map book is essential. And then for GS we are discussing for both prelims and mains. Then the next section, economics, you can add another book as well, but I think the economic survey and any other basic book on Indian economy would be enough for you to conceptualize what all is going on in the economy. And then you must refer to the newspaper, because phenomena like demonetization are covered in detail only by newspapers. This is these are the few books that you must refer to in any case. And then last but not the least, the polity section, which is quite popular among new aspirants. So this is Indian Polity, the older edition by Lakshmikant, but it was quite a good one, and it was kind of the latest one for 3-4 years. So if those people who are having this from their friends of who are owning them, they may simply revise it as many times as possible. But a new edition is also available in the market. You may go for it. Some new editions have been made, keeping in mind the current happenings that have been taking place in the last 2-3 years. So you may refer to the older edition or the newer one. It won't make much of a difference, to assure you, but you have to revise it again and again, and then only it will be beneficial. So moving ahead, Indian polity, as far as it is concerned, it would be enough to go through Lakshmikant for prelims, but for mains, keeping in mind the questions UPSC has been asking over the years, last few years, one must refer to obviously the recent happenings that you will get through the newspaper and other magazines, and opinions and analysis on polity issues, on constitution issues, on Supreme Court rulings and other kind of related stuff from the Hindu, from the Indian Express. But yes, it is tricky portion, and lately UPSC has not been giving much marks in this GS paper 2 of mains, and even it has been asking a lot of indirect questions in prelims itself in the form of MCQs from this polity section. So Lakshmikant in that sense won't be enough. You will have to update it with new knowledge from newspapers and other kind of recent happenings. And other books like D.D. Basu are also there. Then there is something called as Indian Administration by Maheshwari. You may refer to these books as well, but do not get confused referring to too many books from a small subsection for prelims. Although in mains, there is a complete 250 marks paper, GS paper 2, which deals with these issues. And for GS paper 2 in mains, you must add some content to your answers, otherwise UPSC is not going to end up giving you any marks for most of the questions. They are quite analytical based, opinion based. Many old cases, Supreme Court judgments are given there in the questions, and you will have to analyze them. So it becomes necessary to add to your reading of Lakshmikant with some other book like D.D. Basu, which are much more conceptual and detailed. So Lakshmikant book is sufficient for kind of for prelims if you revise it again and again, and you are able to recapitulate in the exam and make some connections if an indirect question is asked. But I would say that it is better safe to be sorry as far as mains is concerned, and do supplement it with other books and current affairs to be precise. So by the end of this session, I will also be showing you an example of how to make notes. And I would say that in my experience of writing 2016 mains, where I missed marginally from making it to the interview, GS paper 2 itself, based upon polity constitution, I scored a little bit less from the average marks. Otherwise, in my optional was also okay. I scored 139 in the essay in the year 2016, which was good by the standards of what marks usually UPSC accords. And then in GS paper 4 ethics I scored 84, which was although not very good, but in GS paper 1 and 3 it was close to 100. So GS paper 2 does make a lot of difference if you are able to write good answers, and you will have to supplement your readings with other books. So a lot of people are asking science and technology. Science and technology, you may refer to for physics, biology and chemistry to basic NCERTs from the class 6 to class 10th for physics and chemistry, and in biology 11th and 12th NCERT textbook is very good and you must refer to it. At least some of the chapters based upon environment and ecology from the 12th class biology NCERT are a must for every aspirant, whether it be prelims or mains, and I would highly recommend it. Go for the 12th biology NCERT, the newer one, the chapters based upon ecology and environment, and even biotechnology for that matter. So this is for science and tech. For physics and chemistry, those who are finding some problems, you may refer to 6th to 10th NCERT books, and biology till 11th and 12th. So science and technology, you always have to update your information with whatever is happening in the newspapers and other magazines like Science Reporter and other similar kind of magazines. So this was for science and technology, and environment and ecology is also a part of it, and you always have to update it. And then I would also like to touch upon the GS paper 1 in mains, that is dealing with Indian society. So this is usually the neglected portion, but you should not skip, because even 2-3 questions carry 20 or 30 marks and can make you end up in the cutoff. And I had also missed the cutoff quite closely as far as mains 2016 was concerned. So I would recommend that each and every marks count in prelims and mains both. So do not neglect any portion. And I would recommend that you can go through a brief reading of Nadeem Hasnan's Indian Society and Social Issues. So you will get a glimpse of what general issues are there as far as Indian society is concerned, and you may be able to write good answers as far as GS socio part is concerned, and not for sociology option. So now it comes to, after you have gone through most of these books, I may have missed some of them which you may be referring to, and you may continue with them. But notes making is another important part. As far as this Lakshmikant book is concerned, there is no need at all to make any notes. Rather revise it as many times as possible, and that will be enough for you to be able to recapitulate information in the exam, whether it be the newer edition or the older one. But yes, notes making is an important activity as far as the preparation for this exam is concerned, whether it be the prelim stage or the mains. In prelims, you will have to make fact-based notes. Whatever is happening in a short format, you have to make notes by hand or digitally on a device. For prelims, that would be very beneficial. Even for mains, you will get a lot of points to write in your answer, even if the answer may be an indirect one, an analysis or opinion based one. So this is usually how I make notes. This is I hope you are able to see the resolution. These are the notes that I have made. I hope these are visible here, and even if they are not, digitally I make notes like this is written GST special notes I have made, not by typing. Whatever stuff I got online as far as GST when it was in news was concerned, so I just jotted down. Even if the notes are not visible, there is nothing to worry. This is because of the brightness problem, I guess. But you can easily make notes by hand. That would be much beneficial as far as the writing practice for the exam is concerned. And even making digital notes is kind of convenient, but you should not skip writing practice. And books like Lakshmikant do not require any notes making, but for economic survey and books like related to economics and other stuff like international relations, you may make notes from the Hindu newspaper, and there are a lot of videos on how to make notes from the Hindu, so I won't go into the detail, but it is a must to make notes from current affairs from whatever sources you manage, whether it be the Hindu online version or the newspaper itself or any other magazine. How does it help? After referring to so many books that I just showed up, you may feel that you do not remember anything. So in order to gain kind of confidence, you must make notes from whatever important portions that you find, and for this you will have to refer previous year questions, what UPSC has asked over the years, especially from when the mains syllabus and pattern was changed. So I will try to give a sample of the notes on GST that I had made in the comment section, so that you get a glimpse of how to make notes in a point format. And for those who are referring to online sources frequently, they can simply make notes by kind of editing and only storing that portion on your device, which is the most important points of all, so that when you are up to revising, it is easier for you to remember most of those points and does not take much time. You should plan your revision weekly and monthly, and from Lakshmikant you may simply revise it directly from the book itself, and that would be advisable. For Bipin Chandra, or for especially for Modern India, Brief History by Spectrum, I won't recommend notes making. That will just going to consume time, and you will just be noting down whatever is given there in the book, and that won't be advisable at all. So rather save on time and make notes for your optional instead, and only for those portions in GS, whether for mains or prelims, which you are having difficulty to remember and which are extremely important from that year's examination. Otherwise, whatever books I have shown, they are quite user friendly, in the sense that it is easier to remember data, facts and other information from them, because they have been designed in such a way, especially Lakshmikant. So there is no need to make any notes from that, and that is all the basic books that you need to refer to, other than the NCRTs, because I haven't elaborated upon the NCRTs. It is up to your convenience and how confident you are feeling in that subsection of prelims or mains. You may refer to NCRTs from the 6th to 12th class, and so all the best for your examination. Again, I'm going to congratulate Unacademy for completing 1 million subscribers, and I would wish my co-educators here at this platform a happy Teachers Day, and to all aspirants, all the best for the upcoming examination, and keep working hard, and thank you so much. All the best.